It's your boy Smoke, man. We back at it with another one. Big time trade in the NBA today, man. Donovan Mitchell headed to the Cleveland Cavaliers out of nowhere. Man. It was whispers about Cleveland maybe being interested in Donovan Mitchell, but never was there like a real thought that he would really go there for most, myself included. You know, the Knicks supposedly had an offer on the table. RJ and Obi and Quickly and picks and stuff. Nah, they turned that down. So the Cleveland Cavaliers get him, man. A team that I was already high on personally. Definitely had them being at least a top 6 seed in the East already. Like, I liked them over teams like Toronto, Chicago, Atlanta. Toronto probably being the closest to that group. But I like Cleveland over all those teams before the Donovan Mitchell trade. And I like their defense. Their defense was already great. And Jarrett Allen missed a lot of time. And Mobley will take another step defensively. You know, he was touted as a generational defender, and his first year, like, he showed a lot. He is probably what the NBA is headed towards, like that 4 but can play 5, that can guard a lot of positions, very switchable. You know, he's shown potential to be able to be a great rim protector. Percentages might not be everything you want him to be right now, but you know, he's shown the flashes. Even though Cavs kind of, went through a slump when Jarrett Allen went down, still, Mobley's amazing. So, Mobley, Jarrett Allen, that's the 2 bigs in the front court right now. The 3 spot, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but, it's kind of a question mark there. But those 2 bigs, now with Darius, Garland, Donovan Mitchell, man. So, Larry Marketing, Abaji, Sexton, 3 unprotected first-round picks, and 2 pick swaps. That is the package that the Jazz got for Donovan Mitchell, man. But he's headed to Cleveland. Him and Darius Garland in the backcourt. And initially, I'm like, man, those are 2 small guards, of course, just like everybody else thought. But, that's kind of what they tried to run with Colin Sexton anyways. Like, they went with the 2 small guards and they went with 3 bigs. This is a better version of that. So Garland and Donovan, like, how do they fit? Donovan had a higher usage rate than Darius Garland last year. I don't expect that to continue. Like, I'm looking at it like Darius Garland is running the show more often than Donovan Mitchell. Like, Darius Garland's still the point guard. He's still obviously much better than others involved. I think Garland will be able to, run the offense more, and Spida could get into that bucket mode. Like, maybe I can average 28 in the regular season. Like, I can go berserk. Like, I go berserk in the playoffs. But now he's playing with, I think, the best point guard he's played with. Darius Garland is like a much better lob thrower. Darius Garland is not the defender that Mike Conley was in his day. He was even solid his first year in Utah. He was better than Darius Garland is right now. We're going to talk about the defense in a second, but yeah. I think this is the first time Donovan Mitchell is playing with a point guard that's like better than Donovan Mitchell at having the ball in his hand. Donovan Mitchell is coming from a place that was the number 1 ranked offense. A lot of why Utah was the number 1 ranked offense was Donovan Mitchell's brilliance. That's number 1, I would have to say. Just a machine and just an engine. The driving kick game, all was crazy. Rudy Gobert's presence on the court, like his screen setting and all of that stuff. And then they had some good shooters, but they led the league in 3-point rate. Like, they got them up the most. So all of that combined, Donovan Mitchell improved so much as a driving kicker last season. He definitely has his playmaking woes, so the fit with Garland in that sense, like, that's why I imagine that Darius Garland is the one running the show. Because he's just much more suited to, run the offense. And Cleveland was the 20th ranked offense last year with the 7th ranked defense. The defense will be there, no doubt about it. Even though they have these two small guards, I definitely want to see them compete, because you don't want to get into that habit, I got Allen and I got Mobley behind me. I can just, let my man walk to them. You don't want to do that. You don't want to build that habit. Because Spida definitely did that a lot in Utah. But you would like to think that, because Donovan Mitchell is touted as a defender coming out of Louisville. So you would like to imagine that Donovan Mitchell can tap into what he had in college. I don't think he will be like this super great plus defender, but not a super great one, but he can be a plus defender, is what I should say. Because he has that long wingspan, the athleticism. He has the instincts on offense, to anticipation and stuff, and the read and react and stuff, but that stuff doesn't always translate to defense. Play rate is super important, understanding what's coming, stuff like that. Donovan Mitchell, he could improve if I want to, though, because he sometimes just used to let this man walk to the rim. So if him and Darius Garland both compete and be solid on team defense, at least hit rotations and stuff like that stuff is definitely controllable. That's up to them. They can make the decision to hit rotation and stuff and hit the film room and understand defense a little bit better, to lock in. When I watch him play, I see a combination of a young Chris Paul and just some of the movements around the rim. He has that Nash in his game. Darius Garland is just, and I feel like he'll go down as one of the best ankle breakers or one of the best ball handlers. In the same light that Kyrie and all these other guys are in. I know he ain't been doing this for that long, but he is tough. So tough. Got a lot of range on his shot. I love players with deep range. When the defense gotta come up to you, you just provide so much more space. Look at them teammates now. He over there dropping them off. But yeah, man, you can do it with both hands. Already one of the best lob passers in the league, and that floater into the lob. That's tough. Tough drop off to Mobley, man. And if Evan Mobley is the generational defender that he's been touted as, this Cleveland team is a problem moving forward. My mom's texted me today and said, how good can they be? I'm like, they a top 6 seed at minimum, maybe top 5. We'll see. Regular season is a different day. Maybe they pop in the regular season, but they should be a top 5 team, top 16. She's like, oh yeah, I probably wanted to go higher than that, but I didn't want to be too optimistic. So, and my mom usually be right, her gut feeling about the game is so funny. But that 3 spot, Isaac Okoro. Isaac Okoro is an important player that maybe hasn't been talked about a lot today. Because Lauri Markkanen is going to Utah. And shout out to Utah, man. Paying Colin Sexton. That's life-changing money. He probably could have got more if he didn't get hurt. All of that is true, but that's life-changing money. That's good for him. Shout out to him. Vando, THT, Trent Forrest, all them dudes. They finna play ball over there. All of them guys are about to have a chance to do whatever they want to do. And they're going to be able to showcase their games for real. But anyways, Isaac Okoro, he has to knock down corner threes next year. Or just period. His development is key in his whole process. They got those 2 little guards and they got the 2 bigs. They still, it's the NBA these days. You always want that wing, that 3-4 wing, whatever. Not really a 4, but that 2-3, whatever. Of the NBA, the LeBrons, the KDs. You always want that type of player on your roster. Because those type of players, it seems like they've been dominating the NBA for a very long time. So wings are very important. But when you got Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, it kind of softens the blow if you don't have that dominant wing guy that can go get his own shot. Dribble, pass, and shoot like a Paul George type. But Isaac Okoro, Like these shots, 36% from the corner three. Like, bro, you're open. He's open. 35% from three. You like, oh, that's cool. But you see, it's blue. Like the NBA, the average, players are shooting much better, much better. So 35%. That's not really where you want to be, man. Isaac Okoro is open. I like his confidence and like at least defensively, I would say. I would say he's a good defender. He's taking on a lot of tough matchups nightly, night in, night out, So I like the tenacity he plays with defensively. But this is important, man. You got to be able to knock down shots. So that your teammate's not playing 4-on-5. And if he can pop, and all I need from him is like, give me 40% from the corner because you're gonna be open. And then when you're not open, when teams actually are guarding you, that's what we need. You giving Darius, Garland, Lane room to operate, to get to the rack, probably throwing one of the floater lobs to Mobley or Allen. And then Spida, you letting him rock. Spida got to start throwing lobs, man. He got to, improve that aspect of his passing. But his driving kick game got better. So there's room for you to think, like, okay, maybe he could, get better as just an overall passer. And playing with Darius Garland, maybe that helps too. But Karis LeVert, another guy that got helped in this, with this trade, he can be a 6-man. Like that's his best role right now in the NBA, and that's fine. He's a bucket, can run the second unit. He should torch second units too. He started like 10 games, or like half the games he played with Cleveland last year, man. But this trade solidifies it. Like Karis can go to the bench, run the offense, just go get bucks. And when you having one of them games where you got 40, you gonna finish games because Karis has that ability to get off. So Cleveland, East is so good, man. The East has been getting so much better. The East is so good. Usual suspects, Boston, Milwaukee, up there. 76ers, I like the Heat. And then the Nets and Cleveland. So it's crazy. This doesn't really move everything. This doesn't really move anything too much for me. Philly, do you want to believe in them because of their coach? And the Nets, you never know. I think that's my top 6. So yeah, Donovan Mitchell to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They needed another scorer to take pressure off Darius Garland all season, all second half. They got one. A proven playoff scorer.